Hello everyone. In this module 18, we are going to learn about important characteristics of childhood stage and its educational implications. After completion of this module, you will be able to know about some important characteristics of childhood stages and also some educational implications of childhood. Okay, let's see the concept. Actually, the childhood, which roughly extends from the age of 5 plus to 12. So it is a period of stability and consolidations, and it is characterized as a period of pseudo maturity. One specific characteristics of this stage is their remarkable vitality and physical as well as the psychological. So the desire and continued activity marked by an intellectual curiosity. Then the stage is the living question mark stage, ever anxious to play adult with the questions of what, when, why, how. So the children delight in sensory experiences, and the learners, they will self-propelling and creative as such. They need guidance and directions rather than the dictations and coercions. So they are more interested in the process of learning rather than the end products. So as they want to develop the control over the thing and the people. So even the people such activities, methods of teaching and involving direct experiences and projects of learning by doing and learning by the living or ideally suited for children at the primary school level. So children's of the stage have short attention spans and often lack of an accurate concept of time. They need immediate goals for their activity and have a need for success and achievements, which would foster the development of positive self-concept. Then the stage of childhood is marked by a pure group formations, and it is aptly described as the gang age. So it is aptly described as the gang age. So the member of the child gang or same sex and in such a small groups, the child sometimes the leader at the and the other times the cooperative follower and learning of social behavior and attitudes. The need for acceptance and approval is satisfied by gang activities and such excursions of camp life and scouting and similar activities too. So the children is also exhibit the keen desire to collect and store the things, and this the tendency towards the acquisition of along with the tendency to construct and create and can be harnessed for the educational development. Then the child, unlike the infant, is a realist with a general tendency towards the extroversions, and it hero worships adults who are active and who are pragmatic achievers. So that the activity, interest, creativity, explorations and discovery and play and group work have all now become an integral part of primary education, as these concepts are based on the characteristics and needs of children of this age group. Okay, viewers, I hope you may understand the concept of characteristics of childhoods and their educational implications. So here I have added some other video additionally, and it will help to learn more things related to the topic. Okay.
So with respect to physical development, as we have already studied in the past two stages, that is the infancy and the early childhood stage, the physical development with respect to height and weight is very fast. Whereas in this specific stage, that is the later childhood stage, the physical development is slow with respect to increase in weight and height. The changes are shown in all journal proportion of the body. That means not only one specific organ will be increasing or will be developing. It is the overall body which will be developing. Few things happen in this stage which are different from the other stages, like shedding of milk teeth and the permanent teeth coming. Then flattening of forehead, sharpening of nose, broadening of chest, and motor skills are developed. You can say that this is the preparation stage for the adolescent stage. Next is it improves physical coordination, that is the muscle coordination. Good mastery over motor skills is there. By the age of 12, muscle coordination is perfect, and there is greater control over the body, which means that the child is able to gain full control over the body, and he can easily sit and pay attention for longer period of time also. Next is their skill in term of body movement, technique, accuracy, distance and speed, which means like for example, like balancing on a beam or throwing or running speed is quite enhanced during this period. The catching, kicking, dribbling, all these things are easily done by the child. So the next development is the intellectual development. Intellectual development, when we talk about intellectual development, child has varied experience and is connected with the immediate environment. That means the environment in which the child is living. It could be school also, it could be the home also. So they focus on more than one aspect of a situation and can experience whatever is happening around them easily. They accumulate heap of knowledge from the experiences which they are going through. This period is also called as a period of development of interest and creativity. This is the time when the child develops interest in, it could be music, it could be art, it could be dance, it could be sports. So this is a period which is called as the development of interest and creativity. Now the child develops power of observation, attention, reasoning and abstract thinking also. And now at this stage, he learns the 3R, which is reading, writing and arithmetic. Then rote memorization gives place to logical thinking. Yes, till now, the child was rote memorizing the alphabets, he was rote memorizing the poems, but now that rote memorization is substituted with the logical thinking, because at this stage the child reads lot of book, get lot of insight from it, get lot of information about it, about things, so the thinking automatically changes to logical thinking. Next is development of concepts. Yes, various concepts are formed, like for example, which are related to life, which is related to death, which is related to the bodily function, how our body is functioning. That concept, you can say space, number, money, time, self, concept related to self, concept related to sex roles also. Because at this present stage, as we will discuss in the social development also, now this is the stage when the child is make group as per the gender, like girls will play with girls and boys will play with boys, and the new concepts are formed in the mind of the child, like for example, this work is to be done by girls, this work is to be done by the boys. So concepts like social roles, sex roles, self, all these type of concepts are developed. Next is the emotional development. Emotional development, the child learns to control his or her emotions expression in social situation. Till now we have studied that whether it is infancy or early childhood stage, the child is not so social, right? So by the time he comes to this age, 7 to 12 years of age, the child is highly social at this moment. He knows when to express and how to express, and in front of whom to express. So he's able to control his or her emotions easily, believes in sharing of love and affection. So at this present stage, the child experiences various emotions, like emotion of anger also, fear also, joy also, anxiety also. All type of emotions are experienced by the child. With respect to fear, the object or situation or animal or people which terrify young children are accepted calmly by the older children. That means till now the child who was in infancy or early childhood stage used to be afraid of any specific object or any specific animal or insect. But by the time he or she reaches this stage, they know that they calmly accept these things and not be fearful about it. But they have a fear caused by imaginary stimuli begins. That means like imaginary stimuli here means like it could be fear of exams also, it could be fear of losing something also. So it is that imaginary stimuli fear which begins at this stage. Then anger, yes, he or she becomes angry when an activity is interrupted or constantly criticized. An unfavorable comparison is made, like for example the comparison made between friends or comparison made between siblings. So these things bring that anger inside them. So usually the child get annoyed when he is blamed or punished for something he has not done, he or she has not done. Anger could be due to achievement fall short of his or her goal. He wanted 100 out of 100, but he or she couldn't score it. So it could be a reason for anger. So all type of emotions are experienced by later childhood stage child. Next development is language development. At this particular stage, that is the stage of later childhood, 7 to 12 years, all areas of speech, whether it is pronunciation, vocabulary, comprehension or sentence structure, everything improves rapidly. The child is very much fluent in his or her language. It could be the mother tongue also, or it could be English or any other tongue also. So he can easily talk fluently in at least one language. So by the age of 12, vocabulary of the child increases approximately to 50,000 words. Next development is social development. So social development, as the child enters school, his or her social circle widens. Now it is the peer group. It is the peer group which is the main agent of socialization. His friends, his or her friends are the main agent of socialization. Sex differentiation becomes sharp. Girls play with girls and boys play with boys, as I have already discussed. They are this is the time when they make groups, and the girls will make a group or have friends with girls, and boys will have a group with boys. You must have seen in the schools that this is the time from 7 to 12 years of age. Usually you will see in a class that boys will be sitting with boys and girls will be sitting with girls. And if a teacher has to give punishment, what she or he does is make the boy sit with a girl and a girl sit with a boy. So that is a punishment for them. So you can imagine that how much the sex differentiation becomes sharp at this stage. Next is group consciousness develops, and the child becomes less selfish, self-centered and aggressive, and more cooperative and outgoing. Now this is the time when his group is everything for him or her. It is also called as the gang age period, as you can see, which means that child shows great loyalty to his or her gang, and he believes, or he or she believes in group loyalty and tries to conform to the rules and values which are maintained by the group. Next is the educational implications. Now, what a teacher can do in this stage. Now, as we have seen that there is conflict between physical attribute and sex roles might arise. Now, teacher should try to explain that being male or female should not in itself determine what a person does. So it is the role of the teacher to tell the children that it is not that the singing is singing a song or taking part in a group song activity or solo song activity is the role of a female, or going for participating in some sports is the role of a boy. No. So it is the role of the teacher to explain that being male or female should not determine what a person should do. Now, give accurate and unemotional answers to questions about sex. This is the onset of the adolescent. By the age this stage will end, there is an onset of puberty. So there are many questions which are related to sex which comes in their mind. So it is the duty of the teacher and the parents to give accurate, unemotional answers of these type of questions. They should be provided, as during this stage we have studied that it is the period of creativity. Students are creative at this stage. Interests are developed at this stage. So art and craft, musical and creative activities should be provided to them. Now keep in mind that pupil growing independent and their need for understanding and limit setting rather than punishment, providing cooperative activities. It is the role of the teacher that you should not focus upon the punishment, but give the child some independence, give the child some freedom to do something, to do what they want to do. There is a need for understanding that what limit we are setting for them. Is it the same which they want? It is very important as a teacher to provide cooperative activities, to provide activities which can be done in a group. Avoid comparison between best and worst learner. It is very important. As a teacher, you should not discriminate between the best and the worst learner. Every child is equal in front of the teacher, and every child can improve at his or her level. So avoid comparison between best and worst learner. Encourage people to participating in the rule setting. You can encourage the children to be the part of rule setting. You should ask them, okay, so the deadline for the assignment to give the assignment is this. So you tell me, if any child will not give the assignment on this date, what should be done? So you should encourage them to participate in rule setting. Keep students constructively busy. Constructively busy, man, that means some constructive activity should be provided, some project activity should be provided, should be given exposure at this stage, so that they are indulged in something which is very constructive, which is creative, which will enhance their creativity, which will enhance their interest in various things. Then provision for parents counseling should be there. Yes, it is very important. The students are changing their physical. There are a lot of changes which are going on during this stage. So there is physical change, there is emotional change, social changes there, more and more peer group, group loyalty is there. So parents may feel this difference. So it is very important for a teacher to provide the counseling to parents also. Then teacher should report unusual or repeated episodes of disorder to parents and school counselor. As a teacher, if you see that something repeatedly is happening which is not right on the part of the child, you should report that to the parent and to the school counselor also. Use varied teaching methods and approaches. This is very important. Every child is different from the other. Every child is alike. So one teaching method, it is not that if you are opting for one particular teaching method, it will be fruitful for every student. No. It cannot be. So you should try and be creative, use varied different types of teaching methods and approaches, so that each child is able to learn effectively. So these were the educational implications of this stage. I hope you all understood the various development which takes place at later childhood stage and the educational implication on the part of the teacher. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you viewers. Thank you for watching, and we will meet in the next module. Thank you.